What message are you trying to convey?
Well, we are trying to convey to the Ford government that we, the students, we will not stand for these education cuts, and that these cuts will deeply hurt us in terms of the online courses, the cuts to teachers, and the class sizes. So these are our main points, and in every one of these points, students are going to suffer.
And what is your concern about online? Let me play devil's advocate. What's your
Yes, of course.
concern about online courses? Because many would say, well, this is the way of the future, and to have one course a year, what's wrong with that?
So the Ford government is making the assumption that all students have access at home to internet and technology. Now, I go to school in a low-income neighborhood. I have a lot of friends who don't have constant access to internet and technology. And so taking these online courses will require that, and it will be deeply inequitable towards lower income students for that. And in terms of just generally online courses, students generally don't pay as much attention to these online courses, and as Rain said in our press conference, to a lot of kids, online courses are a joke, and they don't do much, and you just send in a written assignment, and they just grade it, and there's not much teacher interaction within these online courses. So it's just not a good way to conduct learning, and it will be deeply inequitable towards a lot of low-income students.
So there are predictions a lot of teacher jobs will be lost because of the higher class sizes. What is your concern about higher class sizes?
So I think the main concern is that for every teacher, for how many students, if you have more students, the teacher will place less attention on an individual student. And the teacher, when you increase the class sizes, you have more you have more assignments to mark, you have more tests to mark, you have more of basically everything. So the teacher's attention span will be really distracted, and the teachers will just give a lot less attention. In terms of the job losses, I know a lot of supply teachers who they've spent years trying to become a teacher. And these people are hardworking, they're smart, they're dedicated, they love children. And because of this cut, so it's not a cut, they're letting other teachers retire and having no one else, hiring no one else. So you're gonna have a lot of supply teachers go over towards private schools. A lot of good potential teachers will go over to the private school system. And
now this is a government that was elected with a majority mandate by the province, and they ran on cutting costs and getting the budget under control. And education is one of the biggest budgets in the budget.
Yeah.
So what do you suggest then? Like where could they make cuts?
Well, I don't think I'm in a position to suggest where else in the province we should make cuts. I would have to say I followed the last election very closely. They didn't run on a platform. They had nothing. They had no platform whatsoever. So, yeah, they can say, let's cut the deficit, but they didn't tell anyone where, because they know that if they released a platform during the election, they would get outrage from all sorts of different groups. So it was really a shocking and scary and unprecedented election where a major party had no platform and the voters actually had no idea what they were doing. Now, they got elected because there's an extreme dislike for the previous government, which has been in power for 15 years. So I think a lot of Ontarians are having buyer's remorse, and yeah, they didn't have a platform, period. It did not exist. So why are you cutting from us? Why are you hurting students who are working so hard? And we don't do anything. We are the future of Ontario, and we haven't harmed this government in any way. We're just fighting for our own rights and for our own access to a fair education.